one last question. It's on topic, but maybe a little bit off. I just wanted to get your take as an expert witness in the defamation libel case of Irving versus Deborah Lipstadt, who was just appointed in the United States Special Commission. Emotionally, how did that trial? How did you feel when you had to give testimony from an emotional point of view? How was it for you?
Well, just remind everybody that this is a libel action brought by the writer David Irving against the American historian Deborah Lipstadt. It came to trial in the High Court in London in the year 2000. Irving lost, and he was trying, we have to remember, to get Lipstadt's book withdrawn and pulped, and because she'd called him a Holocaust denier and a falsifier of history. And had he won, it would not have been possible then to call anybody a Holocaust denier or a falsifier of history, bringing the two together in the UK, and that would have been a serious blow against freedom of speech. So it was a fight for the freedom of speech, and that's the first thing that animated me as a professional historian who's worked on Nazi Germany. But of course, I've also been interested in the boundaries between truth and fiction, how you prove things, how do you get at the truth in history, how to use evidence. I've written a book about that called In Defense of History that came out just before the trial. And I saw initially the trial as a kind of case study in these subjects that had interested me. But as soon as it's a public trial, there was so much interest, we had to move after the first day into the largest court and the High Court in London, in the Strand. I was the main expert witness. My job was to read through all of Irving's works, go through his speeches and his writings, his notes, research notes, and so on, and try and answer these questions. Was he a Holocaust denier? Yes. Did he falsify history? And we found innumerable examples of manipulation and distortion of the evidence that he twisted to suit his own political prejudices, which were deeply right-wing and racist and anti-Semitic. And all of that you can find in the judgment, which is public and available online. And there's a movie made about it called Denial, starring Rachel Weisz and Timothy Spall, which I can strongly recommend as well. How did I feel, to get to your question? Well, as I said initially, I saw it as a kind of really interesting intellectual exercise. But as soon as I was in the court looking at the people in the public gallery, where you had elderly Holocaust survivors with their sleeves rolled up and their Auschwitz numbers, prisoner numbers, tattooed on their arms, and sitting next to young skinheads with Nazi swastika tattoos and so on, it became more significant. And the whole became much more significant than I thought it would be, and in ways I thought I hadn't actually realized before. I mean, I'm not Jewish. I have no family who were lost in the Holocaust. As I said, I'm simply a London Welsh who's fascinated by the great events that happened in the 20th century and by history more generally. But it became very important, I think, and I was very proud to play a role in the courts in bringing about Irving's defeat.
This has been fascinating. Again, the Hitler Conspiracies by Sir Richard. We could go on, but was the time to, maybe we'll do a trilogy of these interviews at one point. But again, Sir Richard, thank you very, very much, and urge all our listeners and viewers to take a look and purchase the Hitler Conspiracies, as well as some of the other excellent books published by Sir Richard. Thank you so much.
Very good to talk to you. Thank you.